Look at the person next to you. Mhm. And hold your gaze for a moment. Yeah. Ask them, how's your heart? And take a moment to engage and listen. What do we hear? What do we share? How's your heart? Heart check. My heart is fine. What's fine as a feeling? What's fine as a feeling? Yeah, right? So content? Yeah, a content heart. That's good. Anyone else? Full. Oh, I love that. Full. You all have mask on. I read lips a lot. And so I'm like, I'm trying to get it. And we'll talk to each other a bit here. So full, overflowing. Yes. I love that. Anyone else? Heart check. Warm. I like warm as a feeling. Yeah. My heart this morning is open, um, grieved, and grateful. Yeah, so that's where I'm landing this morning. I think it's important to just pause and check in with yourself. As Josie shared, I am here today sharing some grounding practices with you all. And what we know for sure about the work that we are engaging in this discussion, and the discussions that you all will sit in today, in abolition work, in community work, in liberation work, it's heavy work. It's deeply emotional work. And it's work that requires us to sustain our mental wellness if we are to be boots on the ground, right? In this movement work. Everybody say sustain. Yeah, it requires energy, requires focus, and it requires us to understand how important rest is. Yes? I'll offer you some tools today. And I want to say this. I live in Mexico. I have allergies, and they usually bother me from time to time. But I haven't been fighting with them for quite some time. And it seems like as soon as I touch down here, I have been fighting with this rasp here. So be patient with me today. Stand up where you are. Let's engage in a little gratitude practice. Yeah. So we're going to start with gratitude. Yes. Free your hands. Yeah. And I just want you to think about what you're grateful for. And not just the tangible things. Think about the things that are offered from the universe, resource. And I'm going to ask you to speak aloud. And we will do this all at one time. Yes? Okay. So, right where you are, lift your hands in the air. And let's take a moment to extend gratitude for things that come from the sky. I am grateful for rain. I'm grateful for thunder. And you all can join me in your own gratitude. I'm grateful for lightning. I am grateful for feathered animals. Yeah, the clouds, the stars in the sky, the moon, the sun. Yeah. Extend your hands below and extend gratitude for things that come from the earth. I am grateful for root vegetables. I am grateful for animals. I am grateful for the produce. Yeah. The ground in which we stand on. Yeah, that holds us steady. Extend your hands out. This is our web. The people in our communities, the folks in our family, the places where we belong. Extend gratitude loudly. Name it. Who in your web are you grateful for? I'm grateful for Lauren. I'm grateful for all of you gathered in this room today. I'm grateful for my siblings. I'm grateful for my friends, my associations, for Root Yoke Wellness, for upEND movement. Take those arms and then wrap them around yourself and go within. What's from your heart that you're grateful for? Being alive, love, compassion, deep care, presence, kindness to self, and trust. Right where you are, let's take a deep inhale and exhale, release the breath. We are grateful for the things that come from the sky. We are grateful for the things that come from the earth. We are grateful for all who we are connected to in our webs, and we are grateful for ourselves. Thank you. If ever you are short on what you're grateful for, go to those natural resources, right? We can always think about the things that are given to us without us thinking, like the air that we breathe and we're thankful for. I enjoy opening with the gratitude practice because I believe it's a surefire way to just seat us in our hearts. Yes? And so I want to ask a question, and this is a question thinking about being here in this space, working with in solidarity, right? When we think about what it means to be in solidarity, that is in agreement, that is in right action with shared interests, that is in community on behalf of, right? Why are you here today? And I would genuinely like to know, what are you present with this morning? What are you holding in your heart? And what are you present with this morning? Take a moment to talk about that with your table group. What are you present with this morning? What did you bring in with you? Yeah, go. I'll give you a moment to share out and then we'll return. So let's share out. I would love to hear, what are we holding today? What are we carrying? What are we present with? Yeah, a desire for community and deeper learning about abolition. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. What are you present with? Yeah. Yeah. So present with harnessing creativity. Yeah. And carrying that into your work. Anyone else? What are you present with? Why you're here, which is what? To keep families together. Yeah. What is the barrier to doing that? The pain point. The systems. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for naming that. Embracing discomfort. Can you say more? Uh-huh. Thank you for naming that. Here in this practice, it is my way of being that anything that does not feel good for you, you do not have to do. Yeah. And so you always have choice. Yes. And we're going to talk about choice in a moment, but you always have choice. So if it doesn't feel good, you can opt out. Yeah. There's no need to send yourself into even more of a dysfunction in your nervous system. Just opt out. Yeah. Anyone else? What are you present to this morning? Anyone present to the sufferings of the world? I'm curious. Did anyone bring that in here with them this morning, or am I the only one? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see some hands going up. Yeah. Anyone else? What are you present to? And I'm asking this question specifically for a reason. As we move into grounding, I know that we sometimes just want to jump right into the breath work, but I believe it's important for us to be able to name the cares and the pangs of our hearts, to name what may be coming up for us, to name what we're present to, what we're carrying, what or who may be carrying us, and even sometimes the things that we can center to lean deeply into or decenter and say, let me set that to the side so that I can fully show up here in this space, in this moment. And it's important that we name it aloud, right? Because after you name it, you use your breath to just observe it, right? To just take a moment to be with it, to feel it, to look at it, and then observe the space you're in and know that you're not alone, right? Like, oh, I'm not here by myself, right? Even if I'm carrying something, I am in collective space today, holding that thing, right? And also lean into the knowing that in our time together and throughout this time today, that you always have a choice, right? You have a choice to hold the thing that's in your heart. You have a choice to be held in community while you're with it, or you have a choice to just opt out and be in space with others. Yes? So before we go into that, I want to take a moment to just lean into some affirmation and breathing. Can we do that together? How many of you are familiar with affirmations? Familiar with breath work? Breath work, affirmations. I see hands. Okay. Yeah. Anyone have a favorite affirmation that you say to yourself, share with yourself? Ashley? Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I have a positive outlook for reaching my goals and bounce back quickly from temporary setbacks. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. I am enough, and when I feel as if I am not, it is okay to not. Yeah, that's a good one. I like to remind myself that it is okay to not know, right? Yeah. And in life and in this work, oftentimes as a therapist, I'm holding a lot for a lot of people, right? And there are these moments where we hit this wall of like helplessness, when you have a mother in need and you know the need is pertinent and there's absolutely nothing you can do at that moment to bring resolve. And it's like, this is heavy. And it is okay to not know or not have resource. And that's when it's in those moments that I personally have to lean into my breath the most, right? And in this space and in this collective liberation work, oftentimes we feel gridlocked. Yeah. Oftentimes we feel like, okay, I'm doing the things. I'm boots on the ground. I'm working. I'm serving. I'm using my voice. I'm advocating, and it feels like there's very little movement happening. Yeah. You get to move the energy of the work that you're doing with your breath as well. Yes. And don't discount that as being a very worthy resource. Yeah. So we're going to engage in a breathing practice with affirmations. If you would release your hands, bring yourself to an upright, seated position. If it feels safe for you to soften your gaze, soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to your breath. Together, let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, release the breath. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the breath. Deep inhale. I am afraid. Exhale. I am powerful. Deep inhale. There's so much suffering in the world. Exhale. I still believe in possibility and have hope. Inhale. I'm tired. Exhale. I can rest. Deep inhale. There is space for my anger. Exhale. My pain will not be dismissed. A deep inhale, bring it in. I will not grow numb. Exhale. There is beauty in my anger. Deep inhale. My truth telling is a gift. Exhale. I am free to say so. Deep inhale. There is power in this breath. Exhale, sigh it all out. There's agency in this body. Together, let's take a deep inhale. Ball the fists. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Up, 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 up. Find as much resistance as you can. Audible exhale, release it out, drop the shoulders. Yeah, one more time. Deep inhale, ball the fist, squeeze the shoulders all the way up, up, up. Grab your anger, grab your rage, grab those things. Exhale, sigh it out. Yeah, one more. Deep inhale, ball the fists. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring it in tight. And exhale, release it. Yeah, bring your awareness back to the space. Yeah, very gently. And so there's so much power and grounding in this work of abolition, in this movement, whether it's family policing, whether it's, prison abolition work, whether it's just the liberation movements, period, right? Grounding is essential because we know that this work is long-term, right? We know that this fight is a marathon, right? And what we know for sure is we cannot show up to the starting line if we are not first well and whole. Yes? Yeah. And so the tools that I am giving you are tools that will support you with preventing burnout, right? Tools that will support you with dissociation, tools that will support you with just disconnecting from the work and becoming apathetic, right? Yeah, it's like, oh, it's the same old thing. It's the same old systems. It's the same old. And you just kind of start to show up in this very mechanistic and robotic way. And that doesn't serve the movement or the mission, right? So we have to first take care of ourselves. I was talking with Ashley just before coming up here, and Ashley came to me and she said, thank you. She was here last year and she said, I've really been working on my rest and I'm proud of myself for that. And I want to say I am proud of you too, because it's not just sitting and gathering these things in this moment, but it's saying, how do I go back and layer that into the fabric of my life, right? When I can feel myself railing in rage, when I can feel myself leaning into defeat, when I can feel myself being overwhelmed in capacity, what tool can I grab hold to from my toolbox to support myself with communicating calm to my nervous system, right? And So we're going to engage in a couple of, and these are actually movements that you can do at your desk, at home, in a car, wherever you are. Because what we know for sure is we can't always pop out a yoga mat if you are a yogi like me, right? And engage in a yoga practice in the middle of work. But we can still move those stories to, through, and out of our bodies. And that's what I want to support us with knowing, yes? So if you would push your chair back from the table just a bit, push it back from the table. Yeah, and we're going to stay seated for this. Mm-hmm. And you'll need to have your face in a direction so that you can lean over. So if you want to turn your chair, maybe facing me, or if you're facing the table, yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. I'll give us time to situate ourselves. Yeah. How many of you in here practice yoga or have practiced yoga before? Okay. Yeah. How many of you find yoga beneficial in supporting you with grounding? Yeah, nice. Okay. So we're going to do some seated yoga this morning. Can we do that? Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Bring yourself to an upright position. And I'm looking around the room because I want to be sure that we can engage without having to, if you're close to the table, I want you to push yourself back from the table because you're going to fold your body over. I don't want you to hit your head on the table. Yep. Yep. Here we go. Uh-huh. Yeah. Bring yourself to the edge of your seat. Yep. Feel for your sit bone. So the sit bone is here just below that last vertebrae. Beautiful. Yeah. Feel for that sit bone. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Create some space between your teeth. So if you feel yourself clenching your jaw, create some space between your teeth. Yeah. Beautiful. Bring your awareness to your breath. If your shoulders are here, just roll them in a C and drop them down. Mm-hmm. So if ever you're feeling tension in the shoulders, in that area of the shoulder, inhale, bring the shoulders all the way up, up, up towards the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders in the C and drop into your seat. Inhale, lift the shoulders, lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll the shoulders, drop into your seat. Beautiful. Again, deep inhale. Bring the shoulders all the way up. Roll the shoulders, drop into your seat. Beautiful. Inhale, tuck the chin to chest. And then curl the spine in a seated cat-cow. Exhale, lift the chin. Lengthen the spine. Bring yourself back to neutral. That's cow. So cat, tuck the chin to chest. Curl the spine. Beautiful. Cow, lengthen. Your gaze is neutral. Take your hands and place them on your knees if your hands are together. Cat, tuck the chin to chest. Curl the spine. Cow, lengthen the spine. Shine the heart forward. Yeah. One more cat. Exhale, cow. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Hands to prayer. With your hands to prayer, gently lean your body to the right side. Bring yourself back to center. And lean to the left. Assignment. Back to center. And lean to the right. Back to center. And to the left. Back to center. And And then cactus the arms. Arms up, hands to prayer. Again, cactus the arms. Drive those arms up, hands. Cactus the arms. Stay with your breath. Inhale, drive those arms and hands to prayer. Lengthen the spine, lengthen. On the exhale, cactus and shine the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Here we go for a seated forward fold. Exhale, fold the body over and just allow the arms to rest on the side of the chair. Yeah. Allow the head to hang loosely. And stay in your breath here. What are those last lingering thoughts that you can let go of? Release them here now. Yeah. Shake the arms a bit. Shake it, shake it, shake, 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 shake. On the next breath, rise up to seated. Beautiful. Inhale, take the right arm, put it on the left knee, rotate the body, look over the shoulder. You're looking over the opposite shoulder. Beautiful. For a seated twist. Bring yourself back to center. Take the left arm on the opposite knee and twist. If you can, look over that back shoulder, lengthen the spine. On the next breath, switch, and we're twisting again. Beautiful. Last one, opposite knee. Beautiful. This time, bring the hands all the way up. Reach, lengthen the spine here. Reach for the ceiling. Beautiful. Take the fingers, interlace them together, press the palms up towards the ceiling. Grow tall in your top body here. Grow tall in your top body. Pay attention to your breath. What is it communicating to you? What's your body communicating to you? Where do you feel tension? Send your breath there. On the exhale, release. And bring hands to heart center. Yeah. And release. Thank you all for engaging in a seated yoga practice with me. Does that feel doable in your office? Does that feel doable at the desk? Yes, right? Because what happens is our bodies hold stories. Yes? And we have to give our bodies space to release those stories that sometimes our minds can't even conceive. Yes? Yeah. We have to give ourselves spaces to release. So I just want to remind us that grounding allows us to engage in activism with a clear and focused energy. It helps us to maintain a sense of safety and peace during challenging times, and it supports us with alleviating stress and burnout. Yeah. And so now we move to a conversation about rest. Let's take a stab at it. How many of you knew that there were 7 types of rest? No one? What? Not one person? No. Rest is not just sleep. Yeah. And oftentimes when we are tired, right? And when we feel like, oh, I need rest, what do we go to? What do we go to? The bed, right? We get in the bed. We take a nap. But have you ever taken a nap and then you get up and you're like, I'm still tired. Yeah. Like I've been Netflix and chilling all day. And why am I still tired? What is that? What's happening there? And what happens for us is we're probably not solving for the type of rest that we need in the area where we're deficient. Yes. And so I'm going to share with you 7 types of rest because what I want for us is to be well rested and for us to be aware of what we need so that we can advocate for ourselves as we advocate for others and meet our own needs. Yes? So 7 types of rest. Can you all see that? Somebody, the first one, physical rest. Yes. This is the type of rest that we give ourselves almost always, right? When we are tired, when we are irritable, when the kids are bothering us, when the folks at work are getting on our nerves, when we're getting on our own nerves, because I know I get on my own nerves sometimes. Go take a nap. And then we get up and usually we're probably still tired. And so the 7 types of rest are physical rest, emotional rest, creative rest, spiritual rest, social rest, mental rest, and sensory rest. Most times, if I am Netflix and chilling all day and watching television and catching up and binging my favorite shows, and I go to bed and I get up and I'm still tired, it's more than likely because I was deficient in sensory rest and I gave myself more sensory input. Yeah, right? Usually you'll know if you're deficient in sensory rest, and we'll talk about these a little bit more in a little bit more detail in the end, how to solve for it. But you'll know if you are deficient in sensory rest. Do you ever have floaters in your eyes? Yeah. Headaches for like no reason at all, sensitivity to light. More than likely, you are deficient in sensory rest. Yes. Yeah. Have you ever found yourself just having meltdowns and cries for no reason at all, or is it just me? Right? I'm like, why am I crying? Ain't nothing ever happened. And I find myself having these meltdowns and I'm crying, or I have a daughter, she's 20. And she's in college in Atlanta, and she'll call me, and I just won't have time for nothing. Like, girl, get off my line. I'm so irritated, right? Like, get off my line, asking for some more money. What do you need? What do you want? And I mean, she's doing what she would normally do, right? But I'm so irritated. Yeah. Usually, if you reach a creator's block, anybody in here write or artists, create, draw, build? Yeah. And you keep arriving to the same thing. You're like, I just can't get nothing out. Ain't nothing coming on this paper. Nothing. I'll be sitting there scribbling. Yeah. More than likely, you are deficient in creative rest. A surefire way to solve for that is to get out in nature. Yeah. Don't forcefully allow yourself or try and make yourself or force yourself to stay there and do the thing. Get outside, put your feet on the ground, let some sun hit your body, let some wind on your skin. Yeah. Go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go for a run, and connect with nature. Yes. Did you know that you could be tired even spiritually? Anybody have any like daily rituals, practices that you engage in, that you go to, books that you read, devotionals? Yeah. And sometimes we consume so much of that and so much information, we have to give ourselves space for a pause. If you are arriving to your practice and you find yourself being apathetic or not really connecting with it, or even sometimes overly critical, more than likely you are deficient in the area of spiritual rest. And oftentimes I would suggest taking a pause and giving yourself just a break from the things. I read a lot of books and I ingest a lot of material information, and I've given myself, and this also plays into mental rest, but I've given myself learning pauses. Yeah, I'm not reading another book. I will listen to a podcast on top of a podcast, on top of a podcast, on top of a podcast, right? No podcast, no books, right? No webinars, giving myself the space to step away from that for a moment, to take rest. Yeah. And so the key here is being emotionally and socially attuned to yourself enough to know where you are deficient. Yeah. So that you can solve for X and give yourself the actual rest that you need so that you can continue to show up wholly in your life. Yes. I get really passionate when I start talking about this because I could go on a tangent about capitalism, right? Because I believe it directly ties to capitalism and in this world that we exist in today. And you don't have to tell yourself that story today, right? You get to choose a new story. Yes. And you get to choose a new story with empowered action in a way that you begin to teach those who are in life with you. And that teaching will inadvertently, hopefully, change the trajectory of your lineage, right? And those to come. And so it requires us to not repeat, us Black people, me, my experience, not repeat those same brutalities and inject that on to my daughter and my nieces and my great nieces and nephews and the like. And so we do get to change that. But I do agree that there is a conditioning around tire. But we live in a society that also glamorizes labor and reward. Right? Yeah.
Can you give us some language for like stopping and asking for rest?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Can you give her the mic back? I want to ask a follow-up question. Can you name a time where you wanted rest and you could not ask for it, a specific situation?
Like probably in like a staff meeting or like it mostly like around 3:00 in the day when you're just like, I can't take anymore kind of feeling.
Yeah. Thank you for naming that. What I would say if I were in an experience where I was at my capacity and someone was asking for something else, I would say, Josie, I understand the importance of what you're asking for, and I am at capacity today. May I take a moment and return to that tomorrow or Friday or whatever the date is, and you give yourself space. And so acknowledging the importance or maybe the urgency for the other person on the other end that may be asking for something from you, and reminding them of where you are in your capacity and asking if you can return to it. Is that helpful? Yeah. Anyone else? Yes.
All these questions were really, really good. And it just opens my mind to being okay with not being okay. Especially like knowing that there's 7 types of rest. It's very eye-opening because even when you're telling systematic individuals that you are tired and that you need rest, they are not obviously educated on the different types of rest. As a mom that has been impacted, if I say I am tired, they automatically feel as though I want to give up or I am overwhelmed and I cannot take care of my children. And it could be I'm mentally tired or I'm emotionally tired. And it's not saying that I am not capable of taking care of my children. It's just that I may need to turn off the TV. I don't want to listen to Blue Clues for the next 7 minutes. And they take that and they target you and they beat you down because of you using the language of I am tired. So what can we do as parents as far as being honest and open and saying that I do need rest. I am overwhelmed. I am tired, and not have the system look at us as we're incapable of being a parent because we use that word tired.
That's so good. I empathize with you. Yeah, wholeheartedly. I hear you. Right?
Because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
It is using different language, right? Systems recognize tired as incapable, right? So it's using different language. And that language would sound like if you are needing some sensory rest, I suppose. You know, I've taken in a lot of different inputs, and at this time, I'm beyond my capacity for this particular thing. Give me a thing. Can you give me something? An example? What are the sources of your tire?
Social. Or and not even being able to be social. So it's like sometimes I'm tired of being around people, and also I'm tired of not being around people. You know, so it's that, and or sometimes it's like I just want to shut my brain off, and I don't want to think about what's for breakfast or who needs to go to a doctor's appointment today. But as a mom, it's like your brain is constantly going. How do you even now, me as an individual, because I've wrapped myself around amazing individuals here, I'm able to voice that. But how do we tell the woman that doesn't even think or doesn't even know? How do we educate her on what tired is, or the language that she must use so that she is not broken or beaten by the system?
Yeah. Thank you for that. The language that you use, reminding them of capacity, and I like to say for now.
For now.
Right? At this moment. Right? Because what that signals to whoever is on the other side is I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting. I'm not saying I don't want to do this. I'm not expressing lack of interest for now. So at this time, can I do X and return to it later? Right? So and proactively taking care of yourself in the ways that you know you need to be cared for so that you'll have the fuel in order to arrive and show up. I have a people link quota. Josie just asked me a moment ago, how long are you in town for and what are you doing? I was like, I came here for this. Yeah. And she was like, oh, normally you are, I know you're out. And I said, nope, not this time. Everybody that asked to hang out, I told them no. Right? Yeah. And so I have a people in quota. When I'm at that quota, I can't give it else to anyone else. And I will say that, hey, I've reached my people in quota for the week. Can I get back with you on next week and we can plan some time? Yeah. Socially, right? Giving yourself the space to reclaim that time that belongs to you.
Unapologetic.
Apologetically, yes. But use terms that indicate temporary, right? For now, at this time, in this moment, and ask a question in the end. I know that that's important for you. So express that it is important, and I don't have the capacity at this time. May I return to that later? I want to do that for you. At this moment, I can't. Yes? So it communicates a level of investment. I am invested in it. I want to do it. At this moment, I can't. Yeah. Okay. I could go on and on with questions. I believe we'll pick up here because I know that we are getting close to time or at time. I do have some reflection questions for you. And these are questions that you can hold for yourself. You'll take a moment just to read and internalize that. I will share this presentation as well. If you want to take a screen grab of it, you can. But just asking yourself the question, which type of rest do you feel you're most in need of right now? And then what are some small steps that you can take in the coming days to incorporate more of that rest into your life? Yes? I want you to sit with that question today. And then when we come back this evening in our closing ceremony, we're going to talk about being actionable. Yeah. And walking away with specific actions. And we'll lean into those this evening. I do want to close with just a quick grounding breath and exercise, and then we'll be done for the morning. and we'll jump in this evening. Yes, we'll have some more time together. So right where you are, if you'll bring your awareness to your breath one more time, we're going to put a seal on our time together in this moment. Yeah. Place both feet flat on the floor. Feel the earth beneath you. And take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out of your mouth. One more, gently and slowly in through your nose. And sigh it out of your mouth. And just gently sway from side to side. Sway the body. Where do you feel weightlessness? Notice the shifts in the weight between your feet. Feel your connection to the earth and your body's movements. And ask yourself the question, where do I feel safe in my body? Throughout the day, rest in this awareness and the reminder that you are safe with yourself to hold space and to be held, to make space and to take space. This work is deeply emotional and it's heavy work, but you do have the agency in your body and what you need to stay the course. Yeah, thank you.